Hi everyone, it's me, Diana Layton, Youth Librarian from the Mark and Emily Turner Memorial Library in Presque Isle, Maine, here to present my December 2017 book talk, where we'll be talking about The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. So Forest of Hands and Teeth is a post-apocalyptic romance, and it's not just any apocalypse, it's a zombie apocalypse. And it could probably also be known as Mary's Big Dystopian Society of Sunk. Mary is the main character. She lives in a village that is completely fenced in on all sides, and there are two fence pathways leading from the village, but all of the villagers claim they don't know where they go, and nobody can travel on them. And the reason everything is fenced in is because these zombies, known as the Unconsecrated, are constantly threatening to attack the village. For Mary, this is the way life has always been. This is the society that she was born into. And for the villagers, they don't really have any real memory of what the world was like before the zombie apocalypse. There's a few mementos, a few stories that have been passed along in families, but other than that, this is just the way that the world has always been for them. So Mary has that. And unfortunately, her mother is tragically killed by one of the Unconsecrated, so she becomes a zombie, and it's believed that Mary's father was also killed in this way. So Mary is a zombie orphan. And from the romance side, she has a really nice village boy who likes her, but she likes his brother, who is engaged to Mary's best friend. Kind of a problem. And after her mom becomes a zombie, everybody who cares about her and everybody that she would care about basically abandon her. So she's sent to the nunnery. There's a religious order known as the Sisterhood that kind of run and manage everything, along with a militia group known as the Guardians. And they really control things. And the basic message is you get married, it might not be for love, that's okay, just have kids and keep society going, be thankful that you're a survivor, and don't ask any questions. And that's a really controlling environment for anybody. I would believe it would be especially hard for a teen or young adult like Mary. So Mary's in a rough situation, and she, like so many of us, just wants to know what's beyond the village and how can she get there. Which is a really hard question because, to make the choice to leave the village is not an easy one. Even logistically, how to get out of the village. But then the fact that, as far as Mary knows, the only thing that's really out there is this forest full of zombies. But through a series of events, including the fact that the village is eventually overrun by the zombies, Mary is forced to leave. So she leaves with the guy who likes her, and the brother that she likes, and the brother's fiance, basically wife, and a random little kid, because this is how the story goes. And they're forced down the path, and they don't know what they're going to expect. They don't know if it ends, if it runs out, what's going to happen, and so that's a big part of this story. And all the members of the group are going for totally different motivations, and again, this romantic quadrangle that's going on. There's definitely a lot of suspense. So a zombie book, but it's pretty subtle. There isn't a lot of shock and scary moments because, again, these characters have been born and raised with zombies always being a threat. But for the reader, these are definitely some creepy zombies. The description is, of course, they're already undead, but they expel so much energy that they're just falling apart, and it's pretty scary. But for the characters, sometimes you get the feeling that they're just desensitized or bored, and for many years the zombies were a constant, and now that their world has been thrown into chaos, really the zombies are one of the few constants in their life. So there's just kind of this feeling of physical and mental and emotional exhaustion as they continue down this path. So although it's a dark story, there's still a hope, and we follow Mary, and we have Mary's hope. She remembers a picture from her childhood that showed the ocean, a place she's never seen. And for readers, we might see that as such a simple desire to see the ocean. But I think that'll just show all the different types of things one takes for granted and how your life could totally be thrown into a different direction um, if a zombie apocalypse happened to you. And again, with the romance part, this isn't a heavy-handed romance. It's pretty well balanced to the action going on into the story. More than anything, it's just an example of the types of choices that Mary has to make. Um, and they're very hard choices. Um, so just following Mary as she makes some of those decisions and decides how love affects her, the things that she does because she's in love, the things that she does in spite of being in love. So though it's there, this is definitely still a personal journey with a lot of action and, just seeing where this path takes this group. So there's definitely this suspense element. Um, so basically, it's a very human story in the world of the undead, and so I'll leave it at that. Force of Hands and Teeth is the first book in a trilogy. The second book is out. It's called The Dead Tossed Waves. And the third book should be coming out pretty soon. The first two books have received great reviews. This is definitely a book that's kind of pushing things a little bit with that whole post-apocalyptic dystopian genre that's popping up in teen fiction and getting a lot of attention. So if you're into that, you should definitely take a look at this book. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you guys next month. Thanks.